Welcome back to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. Welcome back to this amazing Ford Escort RS 1600 Racing. There in brackets, of course, it is a racing car. And what better circuit to have this car than Sakito Grand Prix? This is round 1, race 2, Darren Head. The reigning champion was the winner of the first race, and now he sits third on the grid behind Jorge Jesus and Kev Allen, with Dale Taylor in the second row alongside Darren, Simon Allen and Gonçalo Mota on the third, and Scott Navely and Rob Burton on the fifth row of the race. And now let's go. Oh, this is a great start from someone that's Kev Allen. Kev Allen has had a great start and he's going to go into the lead of the race. Yes, he is the leader of the race into turn 1 with Jorge Jesus maintaining second there, side by side there, Darren Head and Dale Taylor, but Darren Head is ahead and a few drivers running wide there. Oh, and already contact there, that's Gonçalo Mota and Scott Navely came together in turn 1. They were at the sharp end of the leaderboard. Now they're sitting 11th and 12th. Are we going to have a replay of what happened? I don't think that the producer has produced, so to speak, a replay here. Jumbo up to 7th place under putting Simon Allen under pressure and being himself under pressure from Todd Antonio in 8th, as of course very close racing in this combo as and this is Kev Allen, the race leader, is in the gravel. The race leader is in the gravel, and this was contact with Jorge Jesus, and again we could do with the replay here. I think that they were just side by side into the corner there at that middle section, and they just made contact and Kev went straight into the gravel. Jorge Jesus is now the leader, followed by Darren Head, Dale Taylor in third, but what a disastrous first lap for Kev Allen, for Scott Navely and for Gonçalo Mota, that had all been very well placed on the starting grid. Here comes Darren Head, and could he become the third leader in one single lap? He's going on the inside and he seems to have done the job. Yes, Darren Head is the new leader. Jorge Jesus runs wide. Here comes Dale Taylor, almost contact there between Dale Taylor and Jorge Jesus. We are still on the first lap, and now this is Darren Head going to be the leader. The winner of race 1 is going to lead the opening lap here at Sakito. What an amazing action we had on this first lap, and there's plenty more to come, I am sure, as Dale Taylor tries to become the 4th different leader of this race within 2 laps. Jorge Jesus hasn't given up on the idea that he should be leading this race either. He lost 2 positions in one go there at the 130R curve when he was attacked by Darren Head on the inside and had to run wide on the outside. Now he seems very close to Dale Taylor and very interested in getting that second place back. Now he's going to go side by side, and here comes Jorge Jesus on the outside of everyone. This is not the most obvious overtaking point, that he just ran out of room, and now he's spinning into the track. He is back into the track in 4th place, and look at Rob Burton, he's in 3rd spot. Amazing job by the Old Folks Racing PlayStation rookie, putting himself in the podium position. Look at this, there was someone, it was Jorge Jesus there running wide, as we see John Scott in 6th place behind Jumbo. Jumbo is a yellow car, and John Scott is under attack there by and that's Simon Allen. That was an opportunistic move by Simon, but well done to Simon, going up into 6th. Jumbo is in 5th. Dale Taylor putting pressure on race leader Darren Head. 2 laps out of 10, and we are, well, there's just so much action going on that number 20 of Dale Taylor is really putting the pressure on Darren, but on the other hand, Dale seems to me that he's being patient here. He is studying Darren, he's trying to figure out where he is quicker and where could he make the pass. He knows that he's got now 3 seconds over 3rd place, so it seems to be a 2-horse race for the win at this point, although we are still at the end of the 2nd lap. They just crossed the line, so into the 3rd lap we go. Positions are maintained. Rob Burton in third place, followed by Jorge Jesus, who led this race briefly. Simon Allen fifth. Jumbo is sixth, so Simon Allen up to fifth. We haven't seen that, but Simon Allen is making ground, making up ground. Oh, and this is a spin by John Scott. Oh, and it gets hit by Todd Antonio. In fact, Todd had nowhere to go there. Absolutely nowhere to go. No, John Scott is stuck, not in the gravel, but he's losing a lot of momentum and ends up, well, losing pretty much every position. He is now sitting 11th. David Emge has had a problem. He is sitting 12th. Gonçalo Mota in 10th, and Scott Levy, they continue to be together. Kev Allen has jumped, and this is Todd Antonio. Now Todd is stopped on the track. He probably spun and now pressed the reset button, and now he's the one that has lost a lot of time. He still retains the position. No, he's not. He's been overtaken by John Scott. So, oh, look at this side-by-side racing here in Gonçalo Mota and I believe it's Scott Levy. These two have come together already in this race. So, never say never. Things can be repeated, but in this case now Gonçalo Mota has overtaken Scott Levy. That was a nice move, and up into 8th place he goes. Let's look at the... Oh, and something has happened at the front. Between... Oh dear, what's going on? Oh, Jumbo was momentarily shown as the leader. And, oh, he must have disconnected. Oh dear, this is what we've seen before. A driver disconnects and goes to the pits and basically overtakes the entire field. But Jumbo has probably disconnected because he has lost a lot of time. He is out of this race, and that's a shame because he was in 5th place. He was doing a great job, and now we believe he's had a problem with his equipment, which is an absolute shame because it was such a good performance by Jumbo. And here comes Scott Levy now back into the fight with Gonçalo Mota, and Gonçalo is going wide and he's going to the gravel and he's going to go into the wall. We are not seeing it, but he's in the wall, yes, and he's spinning, and now he's stuck. He's absolutely stuck. Reset button, finally, but here comes Todd Antonio, and oh dear, and here comes David Emge. So, oh, Gonçalo Mota, disaster on his own without any contact whatsoever. He drops to 11th. Now the gap at the front is under a second. Now it's, as I speak, it has just gone over a second. So 1.3 seconds. Darren Head is again at the front of the field, but Del Taylor still pretty much in play. Now this is the battle for the podium, where Jorge Jesus, who has been delayed well, he has been delayed. I can't even remember what happened with him, but he lost the time. Oh yes, he was in the gravel, wasn't he? And now he's recovering to 3rd. That's Rob Burton ahead of him, and Rob doing a good job there defending that podium position. Now on the inside goes George, and he's got the job done. He's got a bit more pace right now, but he's 7 seconds behind the leader now. Lap 4, we have plenty of laps to go. We are not yet at the midpoint of this race, but it seems to me that Jorge Jesus is going to have to do something special if he is to challenge for the win. Simon Allen in 5th place is an interested spectator in that battle. Look at that now, through 130R. Ooh, and he's cocked it up, didn't he? He runs a little bit wide, and maybe people are picking up penalties again. Race 1 was full of penalties, and we do not see penalties on the leaderboard, and I don't think this is going to be fixed because no one is really supporting Project Cars 2 any longer. It is somewhat annoying that everything, all the timing screens are there, but really no indication of penalties. Now Simon Allen could well have been penalized, but we do not know. He is, oh, and this is Kev Allen. Where is he? Kev Allen is up to 6th. So Kev Allen doing a good recovery after that, coming together with Jorge Jesus on the opening lap. He momentarily led this race. Now he's trying to get back into the top 5. He is a little bit behind Simon Allen, 7 seconds. He's 16 seconds behind the leader, so he will need something special if he is to challenge for a podium. The gap at the front is very stable, 1.3 seconds. We are almost reaching the midpoint of this race, and still pretty much everything wide open amongst the leaders, at least. Let's check out what has happened with the other drivers. This is Scott Davis. Scott has come together with Gonçalo Mota on the opening lap, but has since then recovered through consistency and pace into 7th place. He hasn't been, well, he has been overtaken by Kev Allen, but he overtook a lot of people. Todd Antonio is in 9th, John Scott in 8th, David Emige in 10th, Gonçalo Mota himself in 11th. Jumbo has retired, so a few things went in Scott's favor, but he's doing a good job. He is a bit behind Kev Allen, and look at the times. Kev is 7/10 of a second quicker on that last lap. John Scott somewhat slower than drivers ahead of him, 205.9. That is a second slower than Scott Davely at this stage of the race. Todd Antonio is 7 seconds behind Scott in 9th place, and he is somewhat slower. In fact, he and David Emige are running 209s. Gonçalo Mota is running 205s. That's a good time from Gonçalo, and he should be coming and joining that American group. This is Todd Antonio is in the wall. He's in the wall. He's in the gravel. He's in the gravel. This is a very tricky corner. Now he's spun it. He's facing the wrong way. He wants to press the reset button, but he can't. Or can he? Yes, he can, but he's lost a position to David Emige, that is now 9th. And if he's not careful, he's going to lose another position to Gonçalo Mota. That's the battle for 10th place. This is Todd now crossing the line. Where is Gonçalo? He's nowhere to be seen yet. He is, you can see him now. He's coming, and he's just, he's done the 221 as well. So he's had problems as well, Gonçalo Mota. We haven't seen what happened, but Todd Antonio 223, that's because of that spin which happened before the start-finish line. Gonçalo Mota only a couple of seconds faster, but not by much. And they are losing ground to David Emige and also to 8th place. And Scott Davely has had a problem now because he's dropped behind John Scott. We haven't seen what happened, but Scott Davely in trouble again. This is Copper Knob 75, that's Simon Allen. Simon is in 4th place, and something has happened to Rob Burton because he's down into 6th place. So there is action all around this Saquito track, and of course the producer does his best to capture it, but we haven't seen what happened to Rob. Now this is the battle between George Jesus and Simon Allen, and Simon Allen is really coming with a lot of pace. Let's look at the timing screens. 204, 205.1, and look at Simon Allen, 203.2. That's comfortably the fastest man out there in the entire field. He's 8.4 seconds behind the leader. Look at this, the gap at the front has been incredibly stable. However, Dale Taylor has lost time in the last lap, which means he was even closer. I'm sorry that I wasn't following it continuously, but well, this is just arithmetic, isn't it? He was 9/10 of a second slower in the last lap, and now Copper Knob is almost in the gravel, but saves it, miraculously saves it from an off, and he continues to be after George But I was saying that Dale Taylor lost 9/10 of a second. He's now 1.2 behind, which means he was really close before, which we haven't quite seen either. So lots of action through the field. That's of course Old Folks Racing PlayStation, very competitive. There is always a battle somewhere on the field, and in this case, and this is George Jesus is slowing down. He's slowing down. George Jesus is slowing down. Does he have a problem, or is it just trying to avoid the penalty because he just let Simon Allen through? Let's see if he's struggling or not. Simon Allen up to 3rd. It seems to me that he's fine, George Jesus, so he must have had a problem of some sort, or was he just trying to avoid a penalty? Again, penalties could play a role at the end of this race. We are on lap 7 out of 10. 1 second at the front is the gap. Alonso Fonsi, there he is. He seems to be fine now. Now, what's the gap over Kev Allen? It is a comfortable one. 9 seconds is what George has in hand to maintain that 4th place, but he has lost an awful lot of time to Simon Allen. Look at this, he's basically 4 seconds behind, and that's going to be quite a tricky. Look at the time, 2:08. That was because of what happened. We couldn't quite figure out what that was, but he slowed down dramatically. Simon Allen continues to be, no, he's not the fastest man out there. It is Dale Taylor. Dale is coming back at Darren now under a second, 6/7 of a second, as on the last lap he was almost a full second faster than Darren, and Dale Taylor is, George Bush has stopped again. Well, it could be a problem with his wheel, or most likely with his pedals. But look at this is the battle for the lead of the race, and now Dale Taylor has Darren Head in sight, and it's going to be a titanic battle over the last few laps of this race. We are on lap 7. We are on lap 8, I'm sorry. We are on lap 8, 2 laps to go at the end of this one, and they are already at the spoon curve in the last sector of this Sakito Grand Prix circuit. And now their gloves are off, as Dale Taylor really has to continue to gain ground if he wants to have a shot at victory. Darren Head is trying to defend for his 2nd victory in a row. The reigning champion is wanting to start the season on a high note, and Dale Taylor has other ideas. Who is going to be the winner of this battle? Look at this, Dale Taylor really there, almost losing it, and has lost a couple of tenths of a second there. Now Alonso Fonso Jorge Jesus has lost more time, but not track position. He continues to be 4th, but Kev Allen is coming closer now, only 7 seconds. It was 10 seconds just a minute ago. Let's look at the gap at the front. It has increased a little bit now, almost a second, 8/10 of a second, as they are already on the 9 lap out of 10. That is John Scott in, that was John Scott. And Kev Allen is ahead of George. Kev Allen is ahead of George. George is definitely having issues with something. Maybe it's his pedals, since he does not seem, maybe his brake is stuck, because it just seems to slow down dramatically every now and then absolutely fine for the rest of the lap. He's now down to 5th. Kev Allen is up to 4th. Simon Allen in 3rd. The gap at the front has increased substantially now. 2 seconds, 2.3, 2.4. This is a sign of a mistake by Dale Taylor. And the penultimate lap is not the lap that you would like to have a mistake anyway. And now it's 2.5 seconds, and it seems to me that Darren Head has a crucial advantage going into the last lap. Gonçalo Mota in 10th spot. Todd Antonio is in 11th. David Demico continues to be in 9th. Gonçalo Mota is not far ahead of Todd Antonio. We saw Todd there at the back. Scott Davely hasn't recovered more after losing that time, additional time that we couldn't quite see what happened there. Is in 8th place. Rob Burton in 7th. John Scott in 6th. Now, what's happening with Jorge Jesus? He's then at 2:20. That's a very slow time indeed. He's the slowest car on the track as it stands, just because he's having issues. And he's trying to just get it to the end of the race. He's still in 5th. He's trying not to lose more positions. Kev Allen, where is he? He's in 4th place, and he is losing time to Simon Allen. He's done at 2:06, 2:04 is the pace of Simon, and the pace of the leader as well, 2:04.1. And now it's 2.6 seconds. Dale Taylor has had a problem. He's had some sort of mistake. He is now on the last lap, but it's too much to ask, unless of course Darren himself makes a mistake. This is Todd Antonio, and Todd is under pressure from someone. No, this is Darren Head. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up the drivers. They have the same livery. This is the reigning champion, number 28, Darren Head. Could he have the perfect start to the season and win the 2 opening races, which would be quite a statement for him to renew his championship in the spring season. He is on the last lap, and he and Darren has. Did he slow down there? He did. No, he didn't. He's actually gaining ground, and Del Teller definitely now is going to have to be happy with second place. Simon Allen in third, Kev Allen in fourth. George Jesus seems to be holding on to fifth. He's under 203, so he's had a full lap with no issues, and he's faster than John Scott. But now Darren Head, the last few corners of this Sakito circuit, and he's going to have the perfect start to the season. Darren Head is going to win again in the Old Folks Racing PlayStation. He's won the first 2 rounds of the PC Championship, his first 2 races of the PC Championship, and he's now doing the same in the PlayStation, where he's the reigning champion. Darren Head is coming to the last corner to take the checkered flag with Del Teller in second place, but Darren Head is going to be the winner of race 2 here at Sakito. What a dominant performance by the reigning champion, and he crosses the line and takes the checkered flag. Second place man is Del Teller. He tried his best, but second place was all that was available today. Third is going to be Simon Allen. That was a good race for Simon. Fourth is going to be Kev Allen, a good recovery race for Kev as well. Here he is now, that number 48 is going to take the checkered flag in the fourth place. Fifth is going to be Jorge Jesus after those problems we think with his pedals. We're not sure, but that those very mysterious slowing downs. He takes fifth place. Sixth is going to be John Scott. Another good result for the Scotsman. And look at this, he's under pressure from, no, that's Rob Burton, that in 7th is under pressure from American driver Scott Lively, but he's definitely going to finish 7th. Scott Lively is in 8th. 9th is going to be Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo Mota still finishing the race. 10th is going to be David Emge, and 11th is going to be Todd D'Antonio. There were 12 starters, only 11 finishers, because Jambo has retired from this race. We understand the problem with his equipment. We hope to see him in the next round as Gonçalo Mota finishes the race. David Emge now in the 10th spot, also finishing. Oh, and look at this, Todd D'Antonio is coming at him now at the end, and almost let's see if there are any changes. Not visible changes with penalties. This has been a great that there are. Scott Lively is up to 7th, at least that one, so penalties again being a factor. This has been a combo with great racing, and we shall see you in round 2.